Welcome to another segment of Chevy's Corner. I'm here with Ryan Sester, who has come to visit us at Cal Strength for a second time. It was a fun training session tonight. He hit 160, 190 for a fat 350 total.
Woo.
Woo! Guy's looking for a 365 and 196 to put him on a world team in the 102s. Yeah, man, I just wanted to get the opportunity to kind of know a little bit more about you and let people maybe that are, watching Cal Strength videos and watching you train with me kind of know a little bit about you and where you're, where you're coming from, what you're all about. So I'm just going to pass the mic on to you, Ryan, and just let us know a little about yourself, man. Just who is Ryan Sester?
Well, I'm from Portland, Oregon, and 24 years old, and I travel. I travel for work, so I go and see customers throughout the West Coast, and that allows me to drop in at gyms, meet new people. I get to get awesome environments like Cal Strength. Without work, probably wouldn't have that opportunity sometimes to swing through. But it certainly allows me to meet a lot of new cool people, and then aside from that, my regular routine is like a 8-9 hour day at work. Get home, 2 hours in the garage gym or in town at a CrossFit gym that I've trained at for quite some time, probably about 7 years now, and it's been really fun getting into the weightlifting world and meeting all the cool people, realizing how much potential there is to get better at the snatch and the clean and jerk, and I always enjoyed it doing CrossFit, and always had a big heart for weightlifting, and it kind of took a back seat because I was really into CrossFit for a while. But kind of just getting into the work routine, CrossFit, you have to be training, twice a day at least, or being on a very, you have to be doing a lot of volume consistently, and you can't miss a day. Weightlifting, sometimes it's okay to miss a day, because it just gets you a little bit more recovered for the next session. Obviously, you don't want to miss a day.
Don't let Dave hear that. He doesn't believe in missing training sessions.
Yeah. No, I certainly, it's something I look forward to at the end of my day. I feel like I stay balanced being at work and focusing on my job, and in the back of my mind being really excited for every session, every day, looking forward to thinking about and visualizing what I'm going to be doing, what's on the program for the day. And I feel like that allows me to really conquer each session is before I even get there. I know my head's right, my mind's right. Certainly for the average person, it's like, yeah, that's a lot of weight that you're throwing around, but you just have to show up every day ready to just do that. You gotta be right between the ears every time you show up, or else you're just not going to perform well. You're not going to have a good session. And I believe you build yourself as a weightlifter every session by just putting in the effort and beating that barbell, and not letting it just take you for a ride. Go through the motions. You go through the motions, you don't feel accomplished, and you kind of feel like you're just kind of just doing the same thing. So, but yeah, man, that's me. Basically, right now is just work, weightlifting, and sleep.
Yeah, work, weightlifting, and sleep. I mean, that's the life, man. There's nothing more satisfying than doing what you love for a living, and it gets difficult to withstand the training loads, and your body gets beat up, and overcoming that adversity is definitely one of the addicting parts of the sport. For me, the thing that makes it the most addicting is competing, though.
Yeah.
Like, after you have a very difficult training cycle and you're like, what's going to happen on meet day? Like, I don't know if I'm going to do well. I don't know, like, if I'm going to be able to perform, meet my expectations, meet my team's expectations, my coach's expectations, the people that are counting on me, supporting me, believe in me, like, that's for me, like, All right, that's the biggest key factor. It's like all that pressure is on you.
Yeah.
Consistently on your shoulders, on like it's weighing on your existence. And as the days go by and every single training session, you expect the most out of yourself because you're trying to get as close to the finish line, to the goal, right?
Yep.
That you set for yourself. That is what it makes for me.
Yep.
It just makes it worth the while. It's on game day when it's time to compete and you see you show up and you're ready to go and you see all these other guys that you know that they've worked their asses off and you know that they've tried to, hit PRs in the gym too, and now it's time to see who's
They brought it.
You're bringing it. Everybody's bringing, the best of themselves to try and see who can
do your best,
do their best and
do
their best left on the same day, and see who can make a team. That's pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like competition day for me is what makes me a weightlifter.
Yeah.
It's not training. It's not training and dealing with the consistent injuries and setbacks. That is part of the process.
Yeah.
That is a part of the process that gets you to that moment, to the game day moment.
Just an ingredient.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that you were saying too, like being right in between the ears, talking about the mindset and having the right mindset necessary to come in and be able to crush a training session regardless of what you're going through mentally or emotionally, and be able to do that, especially
channel it into what you're doing in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you're a guy that works 8 to 10 hours a day and has to come in and
not bring stress in a way that I can use it.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it affect the way I lift.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Being there on game days, I've only been able to experience a couple. You've been through many competitions, international, national, local, and honestly, I get the same feeling any competition. It doesn't really matter what level of competition. I obviously haven't done international meets yet. Hoping to.
Yeah.
But I get the same feeling when there's eyes around you. You've got all these people that have they've sacrificed things for you, and they want the best for you, and they've seen how hard you've worked, and you don't want to let them down.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, I don't know. It's something about that same feeling that I've definitely come to appreciate, and I've always had a competitive nature, and when you compare that with something that you're gifted with, it just makes it so much more valuable and fun, and something that people are like, well, how do you go into the gym every day and do that and not just go relax like after work? Like it's just that little puzzle piece, it's part of you, and it's like if you're good at something, if you're having fun, it just goes by so fast, and it's not as difficult as people think. As far as just conquering it with your mind.
Yeah.
But I think it also is easier to lift weights in front of people if you can knock some of those bad nerves off, get the crowd pumped up. I experienced that recently at a local comp.
Yeah.
With my team, and we were in Portland, and
I think I saw that video. You were like raising your hands up, trying to get the crowd motivated.
Yeah, you just get everybody hyped up, and then like.
I don't
have the community there.
I'm the opposite, man. Like I like to be zen. When I'm about to lift, I remember in one meet, I don't remember when this was, but everybody was just yelling so hard. And I was just like, I was trying to concentrate, and I was trying to channel all my energies and just be zen. I don't even know what being zen means, honestly. Like we can really we can talk about being zen all day. It's just being connected with, for me, being connected mind
with the bar,
and the body, and just like visualizing what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
And all that yelling and hearing everybody's voice, I'm just like,
you felt
in my head, I'm just like, shut up. And I just did like this. I remember I did like this, and everybody just like quiet, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I should do this more often.
Yeah.
I should just do like this more often.
There's people I've seen that.
Dude, I've seen it too. I saw a Colombian.
It's like they do this. Yeah.
Yeah, calm down. I guess I'm more the opposite. You know, like I respect the sport a lot.
Yeah.
In terms of like, dude, I've done this for so long. And I know you have too. You've been doing it for 10 years.
Not competitively though. I mean,
Okay.
Only since last. I started doing full-time weightlifting program with Joe Beck, Heroic Barbell.
Okay.
And he's been super awesome for me. He's just took me on, helped me out.
Yeah.
I came in with a 143 kilo snatch, 170 kilo clean and jerk, and less than a year, and it's at 160 and 191. So a lot of work's been put in, and he's helped me out a lot.
Where is he located at?
He's in Portland.
Okay.
So he's been really awesome to me, and I probably wouldn't be in at this point in competitive weightlifting if it wasn't for him, because I went to a local meet just for fun, just sign up, register on USAW, go do a meet. I think I did. I met him at the meet, and I'd met him before, but it was in the CrossFit world, and but I did like a 140 snatch and like a 165 clean and jerk or something, or 168. I remember just making stupid jumps. I didn't even know how to put my numbers in. He's like, oh, let's do it this way. So I didn't even know anything about the nature of weightlifting as far as putting that in, and so I had a lot to learn, and he's helped me a lot. So
What'd you had at that meet that we were talking about? You were hyping everybody up and all that good stuff. What was that? What was that for?
160, 191. It was. I've already been qualified for nationals. Already signed up. It was more of a just going and doing it together on the same day. You can hit a 160 kilo snatch. You can do 190, but can you do them together? And can you be consistent with that? So that's what excited me about today, is just coming and being consistent.
What was it that you hit last time you came around?
Last time I was here, I did a 340 total. I came in on that Monday, and I PR'd my snatch at 160. And then I came in later that week on Max Out Friday before I was heading back home, and I did a 155 and a 185. And it was just the jumps I think I made. I kind of went for the gold and wasn't there that day. But I think I went to 195 after that just to see if it was in the tank. But probably should make less irrational jumps.
Yeah, you went to 195 and you cleaned it.
Yeah.
And you kind of just missed a jerk.
Yeah, I think what Dave was saying is just I got a lot to work on my clean, using the right muscles using the muscles at the right time to not just trash yourself in the clean.
Yeah.
And I think just keeping my hips in the box when I'm jerking instead of kind of getting all over the place and just trying to throw the bar up and catch it. And keep those hips together. Use that power from your heels, and so a lot to work on. Every week though, it's exciting to see yourself in a video getting better at those little things that you've been trying to knock off. All those little cues that you've been using, whatever you're doing, fixing those issues you're doing. Like maybe you're not finishing your pull.
Yeah.
You're not finishing your pull, and that happens with a lot of people. They try to get under too quick, and then the bar drops out in front of them or behind them.
Yeah.
It just, you gotta, something like that. Not necessarily that for me, but just little things that I've had to work on to keep on climbing. And you got to do it. You got to keep on climbing. So fixing all the little things, and there's always something. Always something. You can always pick it out when you get to the heaviest weights. The heavier you get, the more you can see what's going wrong. So
yeah.
But yeah.
What keeps you going, man? So you've been doing it for 10 years. You're 24. You work for a great company that allows you to travel around the world, and and kind of do this sporadically. Like you drop in at Cal Strength. I remember a few weeks ago, you were at Amy Everett's and Greg Everett's gym, Catalyst Athletics. So you've been traveling a little bit and experiencing some gyms out. So I guess it's two questions in one. One is what kind of keeps you motivated to do this when you're having to travel and you're so exhausted and not like, all right, I just had
driving all day.
Hips
are tight.
My hips are tight. My body feels like absolute trash, and I still need to find a motivation to hit a PR snatch. Because I remember the day that you came in and you PR'd. You had just flown. You
like
drove
4 or 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours. Your hips were tight. I had no idea who you were, but you were slapping weights. You were slapping weights on the bar. I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but let's go. Like, bro, you're snatching 150 over there. Like, I'm just gonna not care for what I'm doing for a second and just cheer you on because I want you to do well.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a fun day, and you just crushed it. Like, I remember you missed it the first time you took it. It was like, bro, you got this, and I went up to you and I started hyping you up.
Yeah, you hyped me up,
and you were like, let's go, and you went for it again, and you hit it.
I can't drop this one.
Yeah,
I got it.
And so you made it. But yeah, so that's like kind of like the first question. What, like, you have a great job.
So I travel.
You're traveling a lot. You're going throughout the country. What keeps you motivated to be like, I'm tired. I'd rather stay in the hotel and rest instead of doing that. You're going out and you're crushing these weights and you're trying to qualify for Worlds. Yeah. Where is this coming from?
I think it just comes from a lot of self push. You know, like sometimes it's hard to break it down why you do things, but I think I hold myself to a high standard, and I don't know why I do that, but I'm very competitive. So, and it's not always it's hard to sometimes put a finger exactly what it is, but I just have a very competitive nature, whether that's competing with other people I see lifting. I like to compete with myself. It's not like I'm just competing with myself. I know a lot of people say that, but I kind of take a blend of it all. Because sometimes you just don't feel like you want to compete with yourself that day. Well, you think about what other people have hit or where you're going. It's kind of a combination of all of it. It's like, how far can I go with this? You know, I would love to be on the world stage competing for Team USA, and say I made this happen in my free time. I made this happen after work. That to me would be a huge motivation. Like, anybody could do this. You just have to be willing to make some sacrifices and bring that energy every day. And I think people sell themselves short so often because they just think it's like, that's impossible. Like, I can't do that. You have to be chipping away. You have to chip away at it every day. Even if that's at your job and you want to be successful at your job, you just have to put in the work. You just have to work every day. You can't expect all of the results in one day. You might go on a dry spell, like just like weightlifting. You might go on a dry spell and not hit big PRs for a while, but you build consistency. You get better. You get technically sound. You fix some things that maybe were limiting you from going to that next level. I think for me, 160 was a big number in my head. I mean, it is a big number, but it was a big number in my head that I couldn't plateau. It was like, you're not good enough to hit that. And then you lose, you keep missing that PR, and then you let it get in your head. And so that's why I was really glad to overcome it. I didn't even care about hitting 160. I cared about getting past it and getting on to the next thing. And so I don't know what the next number is going to be, but I think building consistency with that number allows me to just get that confidence for the bigger number, and see where the true potential lies. So, but staying. I mean, I think you get a lot of self-confidence and motivation by having discipline. When you have discipline, you gain a lot of I don't know what the word for it would be, but just like being zealous, like being like showing up for your job and just being like, I'm gonna kill it today.
Yeah.
I think when you
being zen, like I said earlier, I don't really know what it means. I'm gonna look up zen.
Look it up. But I think having accomplishing things, you gain a lot of I don't know. You gain a lot of confidence in your abilities when you just show up, work hard, do the program for the day, and do it at 100%. Go to your job, kick butt, and I think for me too is dialing in my nutrition. That's helped a lot. I've got a macro coach, and she's helped me out for quite a while in CrossFit and in weightlifting, and I think just having that dialed in, having all those little things right, because when you get to this level, you got to get all the little things right. You can't just be sloppy.
What's your body weight sit at normally?
I wake up right around 101, and then I think for all the Americans it's 222 pounds, but it ranges between 101 and 103, which sometimes just water weight.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you'll poop in the morning, sometimes you don't. So.
Well, I looked up the definition of Zen. Zen, there's two definitions to it. It says it's a Japanese sect of Buddhism that aims at enlightenment by direct intuition through meditation. And there's the second definition, which is being the state of being calm, attentiveness in which one's actions are guided by intuition rather than by conscious effort. So that's like, yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense now, because, I mean, you think about being Zen, and it's like, what being Zen really is you're not thinking. It's just, you're allowing the body to just do something that is done over and over and over again, and it knows how to do it, you know? You put into, I mean, on the heavier attempts, you're overthinking. Like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, you know? You're not just like, all right, let's snatch. Let's just snatch.
Just do the same thing you did.
You know what I mean?
Time.
Yeah. And so, I guess Zen is that for me, is like, just don't think.
Now that I think about it, I think I definitely feel what you're saying now. Like, going up to heavier weights, if you think about it for too long, you're not going to snatch it. You're not going to clean jerk it. You just got to go up, and it's kind of just the aura of being around that bar. You're like, I can't think about this. I'm just going to go and do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it the best way I can. Yeah. But I'm not going to change it from the last one. Yeah. I'm just going to put all the power to this bar and just hope that my training and the way that I've been practicing is going to show up on this, you know? Yeah. And then you just do it.
So the second question that I wanted to ask you, and that's a good point that you're making, you know, like, that happened for me with 180. Like, I was stressed out. Like, I was overthinking so much. I was like, this feels so heavy. 170 feels so heavy. 160 felt so heavy. The pull feels so heavy. My legs are tired from so many tries on the snatches. Like, I'm just like, in my head, I'm thinking. And I'm like, just shut up, brain. Just like, just take a deep breath. Just like, allow yourself to just relax. Just trust the movement. You know, and that's one of the things that I'm like, as I'm setting up and I'm breathing and I'm, you know, setting my lats and kind of like feeling the proper foot pressure and like trying to get my chest upright, and like I have this little, I guess I would say, ritual that I'm doing as I'm setting up for the bar. Like I'm trying to feel the muscles and like feel everything connected with my body. I'm trying to connect with my body and with the bar. And I'm trying to feel the bar connecting with my body. And I guess that's that Zen, you know, that mindfulness aspect of it. Where you're just like, you're allowing the intuition to kick in. You're
getting your mind connected to the bar, and you're going to execute.
You're going to execute the movement. Yeah. And just like stop thinking so much about the movement and just feel the movement. Yeah. And that's, I guess, what a lot of people would call bar feel. Yeah. You know, having the ability to connect with the movement and execute perfect technique.
You're like simultaneously visualizing, snatching the weight. And I think that's helped a lot, is just thinking about yourself with a successful lift. Maybe it wasn't that day. Maybe it was the day before. Maybe it was the Monday before. Yeah. And you're visualizing yourself like just snatching the weight, pulling through your hips, smacking your feet down on the ground, and just riding that thing right up. Yeah. And I think just thinking about that and thinking about yourself lifting, you know, it's hard to visualize other people lifting. Sometimes it does help, but I often find just that most successful snatch attempt that you took, just visualize that. Just try to think it, play it over. Sometimes it helps to watch a video. Watch a video, get that in your mind, and then walk through the bar, get the bar feel. Just go.
Just go.
Just go.
For sure. The second question that I want to ask you is, you've been out here, been to Catalyst. What other gyms would you like to visit, or what other opportunities with your line of work do you think might present themselves to visit a gym that you might be interested in visiting?
There's so many, man. There's a lot of gyms. I think it's really cool to be around athletes that are motivated. There's a couple different reasons I would go to a gym. Like, it's got a great energy. There's a lot of great lifters there. They're all working really hard. I mean, going in on a Monday after a flight and work, I already knew that the energy that I was going to be in the room that day was going to be greater than what I had coming into it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So I knew I was going to snatch PR before I even walked in. I had visualized snatching 160 before I even walked in the room.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of how I got there.
Yeah.
So I think using that kind of opportunity. I also love meeting people and having relationships with people. So I've met a lot of cool people, just all these gyms all over the place. I love to have help, and I'm very accepting of any advice I can get to better the lifts, and to just keep trying to focus on where I'm weak at and fixing that. And there's so many great coaches. You know, Dave's awesome. He's been around for a long time, and he's got a lot of knowledge. So I really try to take initiative to get help, and if it's there, take it and use it. And I think it's fun to lift with other athletes. You know, make friends. You know, come lift with them. Yeah, it's just a fun time. It motivates them. I love sometimes a little bit too much. I get a little bit too hyped up for some people, but it just hypes me up when I see someone going and doing the same thing, just like going and conquering that weight. It doesn't even have to be a PR, but going and just executing, hitting that lift. It's awesome to see PRs, but I love just seeing consistency, people working hard, and I think that drives me too. So try to surround yourself with people that, even if they're not at the same weights as you, they're coming in and doing that same thing, because that's the infectious, motivational attitude that I like. It's just, it makes you better. It makes you think better, and it just energizes you. It's something you can feed off of it.
My question was, what gyms would you like to visit? Either here in the U.S. or in Colombia, or go to another place. Like, all right, I'm gonna tell you where I would like to go. I would like to train with CJ Cummings. Okay. Like, I see him training, and he has very chill vibes. He's just like, he walks up to the bar. He never seems overly enthusiastic about hitting a weight, except in competition. But in training, he just looks like, all right, this is just work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, at least on the videos. At least in the videos when he posts them. He's just like, boom, 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 done. This is work. Cleans, boom, done. Pushes it down. He's not like, he doesn't seem like the type of guy that is just like super hype. Yeah. He probably channels all of that and uses it to lift. And I know that Ray's a great coach. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's taken CJ to extreme level. Yeah. And he's a highly successful coach as well, and has other athletes that he's taken to the international level. I would have loved to go to the OG MASH Elite gym, where Dylan used to train, and Nathan, and I would have loved to have been a part of that vibe. That would have been super cool. OG Cal Strength with Donnie Schenkel and, like, you know, all those vibes back then.
All those guys, yeah. Be electric, man.
But currently, right now, like those would have been cool back then. But currently, CJ, I would love to train with CJ. Like the fact that he's like 73 kilos and lifting as much as a 102 guy and an 89 guy and squats a house. Like I saw him.
He squats a lot.
He squats a lot.
Front squats like 250, 260.
255-ish. I don't even know. Like, bro, why do you don't even need that much. You don't need that much. Yeah. He definitely does though.
Yeah.
An Olympian guy. I would like to train at a Power and Grace. I know
cool gym.
I know that there are technically our rivals just because like, you know, we got a lot of athletes in the same weight class. Kind of like I was in the same weight class as Harrison, and Maddie's in the same class as Jordan and all that. Yeah, so there's a little bit of like rivalry there in terms of like making teams and all that good stuff. But I thrive off of that, off of genuine, like genuine rivalry, genuine tension, bro. Yeah. Like I feed off of that in a good way. Yeah. Like I would never like get into an altercation with them, like with Harrison or with anyone, because of training. But I would totally use it as motivation to get better. Absolutely. You know, like training with Wes and training with Nathan, it's an amazing experience. But they snatch 170 and 75, you know, they're clean and jerking 200, 210. Like, how much can you really feed off of a guy that's snatching 15, 25 kilos more than you and clean and jerking 20 to 25, 30 kilos more than you? So it's like, you know,
so it's like far as like going back and forth in weight then.
Yeah. Like I would like to train with people that are close enough to like pursue, but far enough to make it a challenge. You know what I mean? Like with Harrison's, you know, he on a good day can clean and jerk 200, you know, 206, but he's consistently in between 190 to, you know, plus 185 plus, you know, so it's like, you know,
close enough.
Like he on his worst day can clean and jerk 190. 190 for me would be an amazing day. He in a really not good day can snatch 150, 155. That would be like me attempting my all-time best, you know, so that's the range, you know what I mean? And I would love that. I would love to experience training with CJ, was training with Harrison, because these guys are like around my weight class and
they're close.
They're close. Yeah. But I feel like next time you come through, I think I need to give you the opportunity to train with either Nathan or Wes so that you can have a little bit more of a push from them. Yeah. Just because you're snatching like 160 clean and jerk and 190. I mean, who knows? Maybe when you come back.
Maybe $165.
Maybe 165, 195. Maybe I'll be snatching 155 and you're in trouble, you know. But maybe you're. Who knows?
Hey, I love that. I love that though. I'm coming for you. You're gonna work hard. You're gonna get that. Yeah. And I love the pressure. Like that's why I show up to some of these places, and that's another thing. Reason why I drop in the gym. I'll get back to your question. Yeah. One of the reasons why I drop in a gym is it keeps me accountable. Yeah. It keeps me accountable to work hard. Because when I got other people watching me, I'm coming there to work hard, and I can't bring anything less. And if I felt tired, I felt jet lag. I felt like I sat in the car for I sat in the car for 6.5 hours, I think, coming from like Bishop, California. Yeah. On the last max out Friday. But it's not an excuse. You have to show up, and I love being in an environment where it holds you accountable to what you bring. Yeah. And I think that's why I like going into gyms. But some of the ones I'd love to go train with Bodie. Once kind of the restrictions.
I would like to train with Bodie too. Bodie seems like he's got really high energies in training. Oh yeah. Like,
shout out to Bodie. No, it's good vibes. High energy training. Yeah. And Bodie's got self motivation that's infectious too. Yeah. And that's it's awesome. It's motivating. Yeah. I'd love to train with some other, I'd love to just drop into a random place in like Italy or like just a weightlifting hall in like one of those countries, and like there's not just unannounced. Yeah. I love dropping into places unannounced. It's so fun. even small places. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the level or whatever. But just going in there and just smashing weights and like, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun to blow people's minds too.
Wow.
You know, just go in there. Maybe they don't see that, or maybe maybe they don't. They've never seen a like. It's not. I don't think it's weird. I think it's fun to just go and have fun, and it just creates energy and like people are enthusiastic about you lifting. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but it brings that same level. You got to be accountable.
Yeah.
If they're excited for you, you got to hit. You got to go. You got to go hard.
Yeah.
So.
I'd like to train in Colombia too. I like the Colombian guys. I like the Dominican Republic. I was there for Pan Am's. That seemed really fun. I got along really well with the people there, and the vibes there are just so nice. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican. I speak Spanish, so it's really easy for me to get along with people that speak Spanish. In Colombia, Dominican Republic, they speak Spanish there too. I'd love to go to Mexico too. I think that Mexico would be really nice.
Yeah.
Training with the national team, specifically with the national team, or at least national level athletes, not just dropping into any random place at that point. If I'm going to go to a country to train, I want to train with the national team of that country, and I want to make that happen for myself at some point.
Absolutely.
So Colombia, Dominican Republic, Mexico, I think would be really cool.
Training with Mezzo would be cool too.
Mezzo would be cool. I feel like I like his vibe.
Guy.
He's a cool guy. Vibes, yeah. He's got some cool vibes. He's got his whole family together, which is pushing him, and that union of the family is something that you see also in Bodie's family. Like Bodie, his brother, I think his sister also lists. His father used to be a weightlifter, so that union.
Yeah, he's got generations in his family of weightlifting.
Yeah, that union between the family can be seen in Bodie's family and in Messel's family.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. Not a lot of lifters have that, though. Like everyone from like
some
dad, mom, sister.
Like no generation
at all. I mean, I'm one of those guys. Like
I
have no strength background from my family at all. My mom.
Other than genetics.
Well, other than genetics, yeah. My mom worked at the airport her entire life, throwing suitcases around, and my father was in the military. He was never around in my life, but he was just in the military. So I guess that's where I kind of got some strength kind of gains.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I was growing up, I didn't really have anyone tell me like, oh, you should try this sport out. This is fun. Like I was in Puerto Rico. Like no one does Olympic weightlifting in the town, and it's snatching and clean jerk from the town I'm from.
Is this a local like gym club or something?
No, dude. I learned how to weightlift when I went to college. I didn't even know about the sport. I mean, I knew a little bit because my teacher, my high school teacher, her name was Rosana. She did Olympic weightlifting one time when I went to gym class. She just did a clean and jerk with like 35 kilos. And when I saw her doing it, I was like, oh my God, that is so amazing. I was like, I can't believe you just lifted that. I thought it was the most coolest thing.
Yeah.
And now I know that 35 kilos is not a lot. Like she could probably.
But at the time, it's impressive.
At the time, it was impressive. I was very impressionable. I was a 17-year-old kid seeing my school teacher lifting some heavy weights over her head, doing a clean and jerk with 35, and she just did it like nothing. And then she just dropped it. Like she was literally in her school uniform, and the kids were talking shit to her. I don't even remember what they were saying, but she's just like, "Oh, you think I don't know shit?" She's just like, "Boop boop, done," and dropped it. And everybody just like, holy shit. Teacher just crushed that.
Yeah.
Like you just did that, and we're just like, and then the kids started trying doing it, and then we started appreciating the sport. But yeah, dude, I don't know. And I think that's what would make me want to go to other places to train with high level athletes and with people that appreciate the sport and appreciate understanding the mechanics and the body, and like, to reach a certain level in Olympic weightlifting, you have to have a really good understanding of the body
mechanics, movement
of like, all right, your jerk sucks because you're weak in your triceps or you're weak in your shoulders or you have instability on your scaps or you have instability in your core and your lumbars, whatever it is, or like there's so many things that you can pull apart from a movement that is inefficient.
Yeah.
And having the ability to be with somebody that understands the movement significantly better than you. And there's no way that you could have that understanding, that many years of experience passed down into you, that knowledge passed into you just by reading it or listening into a podcast. Like, this person knows their shit. Yeah. And they're telling you how to fix your shit, right? Yeah. If you train with Meso, if you train with Bodhi, right? Or you train with the national team. They'll tell you. Yeah. Like, yeah, you're good, but you're not good enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta fix this.
You gotta fix this and this and this and this. And we're like, all right, how do I do it?
More pulls.
You gotta do more of this.
Bodhi's told me this. He said you gotta do more. You gotta pull at least 3 times a week. I mean, it's just that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that for me is what, at the very least, training with high level athletes would make it enjoyable, but also the vibes. Like, going and training with people that I feel like I would get along with. I feel like I could get along with CJ. I feel like I would get along with Harrison, and some of the athletes in Power and Grits. I don't know many people there. I've met Ray a couple of times. I get along with him too.
Yep.
I've met the Colombian team. I've met the Dominican team. I've met Bodhi. I've met Meso in person at Worlds. I've met these people. I have respect for them. I have appreciation for their work ethic and for what they do, and I would like to learn from them. And that would be awesome. I don't know when that's gonna happen for me. Hopefully,
maybe it'll happen soon.
Maybe since you're traveling, maybe you'll go to Canada or something. You'll be able to train in Canada with Bodhi, dude.
Oh, the restrictions are pretty
How bad is it
now? So you can't, I don't think you can even get into Canada. You can't even, if you don't have any reason, if you're not married to someone or engaged to somebody. Like, my cousin's just getting married to a gal from Quebec, and she had to move down here. When he went to visit her, is only because they were engaged, and he had to show documents, and it's just it's a crazy time. It's a crazy time, and but things are getting better, I think, and once they're better, I want to go to other countries.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah, this whole COVID thing has definitely changed. So much.
Yeah.
How has COVID affected your life personally? You're able to travel now because some of the travel bans and stuff is kind of clearing out. But how has it affected your business mainly?
So actually, it helped us. It helped us pretty significantly. Because we sell to independent garden centers and nurseries across the United States and Canada. We have sold internationally. Our main focus on all the states, other than Hawaii. We don't really ship anything over there. But everybody during COVID got locked down, and garden centers stayed open. So stores shut down, restaurants shut down. Garden centers stayed open because it's home improvement. It's you get bored at home. Oh, what do I want to do? I want to fix my yard. I want to plant a tree. I want to plant a shrub. I want to do that. So they go buy our stuff that we have sold to a independent garden center. There's one right up the road up there, close by in Lafayette. And so that helped tremendously because there's a huge influx. I think there's 22 million new millennials entered the garden center market, nursery market industry just during COVID, just because they had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And so I think it saturated the market, huge boost in business, and I think a lot of it stuck because people are oh, it's actually really cool to go improve my yard, make it look nice, buy some plants, buy a tree, throw it in the yard, water it, see it, put some fruit trees in the yard or some fruit bushes. Put some blueberries on my Kellogg's cornflakes, I don't know.
Growing from my backyard.
Yeah, growing from my backyard. It's cool. So I think the edit, especially with the whole thing on the grocery store's running out of food. We got to get fruit trees. That was huge.
Yeah.
I want to be self-sufficient in my backyard. I want to have vegetables. I want to have all that kind of stuff. So it was really actually not a bad deal. It just made me really busy. And then obviously restrictions are kind of, trying to limit things, and then there was kind of like unknowns for a while there until things kind of got kind of put together, and so there was restrictions on traveling. Obviously, kind of stayed home, and luckily I'm able to. We don't really need to see people in order to do business. We could do it online or on the phone, and kind of orchestrate all that shipping and whatnot. But the most important thing with keeping relationships in that business and really any business is relationships. You got to see people. You got to look at wide eyeballs. You got to shake their hand, and I think that's important in weightlifting too. And maintaining relationships, meeting new people, and getting outside your comfort zone. So I think that's helped me a lot too. But it keeps me balanced having that work, having that during COVID I worked out a lot more too. Yeah. Probably a little bit more than normal just because I think I got COVID in January and I just worked out through it. It was just extra time to work out, so it didn't affect me in a super negative way. It just kind of like just felt really unenergized at night and stuff, and worked through that. But I just saw it as an opportunity to just go do some more squats, so get strong and wait for it to pass and get back to work. So, but how about you? How did COVID affect you?
Let's see. COVID affected Cal's strength kind of low key. We had to basically lock ourselves down in here. We weren't able to have anyone else train here for a very long time. It affected the vibes, and I feel like, this is my personal opinion, I feel like us being locked in a room with no one else to interact and just being like 4 or 5 people seeing each other every single day, a lot of stress, a lot of expectations. It pushed the Olympics away for Wes for one whole year, so that kind of changed everything in terms of for him. It allowed Nathan to join our team. That wasn't a possibility if it wasn't for COVID, that's for sure. So now we have a super cool guy and great athlete as a training partner because of that. So that's one positive.
That's awesome.
But at first, I just feel like it was very intense.
Yeah. It wasn't kind of a more relaxed environment because it's so hyper focused on just a few people. You don't feel the energy from everybody, the whole Cal Strength, the whole family of Cal Strength.
Yeah, and that's also the thing is every single one of us has their own share of problems at home, either relationships with family, things that they're trying to we're each trying to accomplish in our own individual lives. Wes trying to be the best that he can be, going to the Olympics. We're all trying to support him in some way or form in his dream and trying to make it more easy going for him. But at the same time, we all have our own goals, too. I'm trying to make world teams. Maddie's trying to make world teams. Kelly, Nathan, Wes is trying to get ready for the Olympics. Every single one, we all try to be supportive and caring and empathetic with each other. But at the same time, we're all individuals that have our own goals, and we're all trying to push ourselves to the best. And so the energy just gets kind of
with COVID,
with COVID, it was just all of that intensity just there. And so I think it benefited us, all of us, in some ways. We grew stronger as a team, as a whole. We appreciate our each individual efforts and desires and what we're willing to do and sacrifice for the sport. And but it can also it could have potentially lead to problems, and luckily it didn't. But there were moments where it was just a lot of high energy, a lot of tension. Just tension, just bad days of training, and then you're just
people need space.
Need space, yeah. Sometimes I train by myself. Sometimes I'll come in on a Tuesday or Thursday on the morning and just listen to the music that I want to listen to. I'll listen to Hispanic music and do my own thing. I did also get COVID this year during February, so that did affect me significantly. I had just gotten my injury in December, so I partially tore my vastus lateralis tendon. I haven't really spoken about this at all in any podcasts or even on social media, so this is the first time I'm actually talking about this on a podcast. But
You told me all about it.
yeah, I told you all about it, but not in the podcast. So, did I mention it in the podcast at all?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, just you said you mentioned it about it, so whatever.
No, I was just saying.
We talked about it.
We talked about it.
Yeah. So I partially tore my vastus lateralis tendon in December. So I went back home to Puerto Rico right after nationals because I didn't want to be here. I was very depressed, and I was like, I qualified for Pan Ams, and I might have to give out my spot. And, I got back on January. I was training here for like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then boom, I got COVID. And now I'm training from February to March. Pan Ams is in April. I'm training for a whole month by myself in my garage, trying to recover from an injury and push myself to be the best that I can be, while also dealing with depression and feeling lonely and feeling alone and segregated and feeling like no one wants to deal with a guy that has COVID, and no one wants to, like, I felt like very, very, just so like for a little bit, like for that month, dude, I'll be honest, like it was deep. It was difficult. It was very difficult. It was a very difficult moment. But being able to come out of that, and make amends with the situation the best that I could. A lot of people were disappointed that I had COVID and I was here, because I got tested after feeling sick for a few days. I started wearing my mask, and then I was like, I'm not feeling like I'm getting better. Like I feel like I was sneezing, and I was like, oh, I'm sneezing. Maybe I should wear my mask. So I started putting my mask on, and then like a few days went by. I'm like, I'm not feeling better. I'm gonna get my COVID test. So I got my COVID test, came back positive, and then I just literally left that same day back home.
Yep.
And then after that, I locked myself down for a whole month until not only I got tested multiple times to make sure I was negative, but that I felt better entirely. Luckily, no one got sick at Cal Strength, and I was able to not get anyone sick to the point to at the gym. At least I did go to a friend's party and kind of got some people sick, so that kind of got that was one of those shitty situations that I kind of wish I would have done something about. Not go to the party and get other people sick, but it's whatever. I didn't know I had COVID. I know I was sick, but whatever. That's how COVID affected me. It made training kind of weird for a little bit, but I was still able to train thanks to Dave's consistent pursuit of excellence in the sport. Yep. I got really good for a while. I was snatching 150, clean and jerking 190. Well, not cleaning 190. I cleaned 190 October through November like 4 times for the first time in any training cycle really in my entire life. Yeah. And then in December, and when I competed in nationals, I cut to 81s, and I mentally wasn't in it. Some stuff happened that kind of threw me off, and I wasn't zen.
You didn't feel the vibes.
I didn't feel the vibes, man. I wasn't ready when it came to perform at nationals, and I think that also just being an indoor meet and not having the push or the motivation or the crowd or like the camaraderie of other people there and seeing like who I'm going against, and like
I did the nationals online too, so it was just a weird. I mean, I hadn't been on a national stage at that point though. Yeah. So it just felt weird being on a screen though, because I'd done local meets. It's like yeah, it just felt weird, but yeah. I mean, you're just kind of like, it's like, okay. I mean, I like it quiet, but, kind of like,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Out of all that, 2 positive things have come through. One is my resilience to quit. I'm hard to, it's hard to beat a guy that has been defeated and has come back. Like,
that's pretty hard.
I'm going to be hard to beat mentally. Like, You have a guy that's been injured multiple times and had multiple almost career-ending ending injuries, and people tell him like, yeah, you're not gonna walk in a few months. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to recover this, and prove you wrong, prove himself wrong, prove everyone else wrong, and then getting stronger and achieve through that. That's a big thing, and also I guess my genuine desire to connect and push the people around me to excellence.
Yeah.
I do genuinely enjoy seeing people do well. You know, having you come through, train with us, fucking hit a fat total, it makes me happy. I don't know you as well, you know? Like, I just met you through the gym.
Yeah.
Through lifting heavy weights, you know? But it makes me happy to see you do well. It makes me happy to see Nathan crush a 170 snatch. It makes me happy to see Wes crush the 205. It makes me happy to see Maddie and Kelly crush American records. Like,
it's exciting.
It is so amazing.
It's a whole nother. It's like you can live through their experience, and it's like you know the feeling so well of hitting a big weight. Yeah. And you can just feel that energy and excitement the same way that they feel.
Yeah, and you connect with their happiness, dude. Yeah. It's just like,
it's awesome.
It's awesome. And I really have grown more fond and just appreciate the atmosphere of the gym so much more. 'Cause training by yourself, it's nice for a little bit when you need to be zen, when you need to just be calm.
You just need to be focused.
When you need to be calm and collected and just focus on, all right. I think it actually was good for me in some way that I was able to train by myself during that month, because I was able to just not have any distractions, understand this is on me, right? Like, yes, Dave wants me to do well. Yes, Cal Strength wants me to do well, but at this point, I'm injured. Like, I'm in my garage, I'm training, I'm injured. Like, why am I doing this? I could just stop and focus on recovery and not put my body at risk of getting injured again by trying to lift heavy shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is the reason that I got hurt. I got hurt because I was trying to lift heavy shit when in the moment that I was the most ready. For nationals, dude, I felt the most ready I have ever been. I felt so strong. I felt so, like, in shape. And then first clean and jerk attempt, just blowing my bastard ladder out of center. And then now I'm 4 months away from one of the biggest meets of my entire life, an international meet. And I'm having to train by myself through a COVID lockdown.
Yeah. Because
I got COVID for a month, recovering from an injury. It's just like crazy. But I, from that experience, appreciate a lot more what I have, for sure.
Yeah.
And I appreciate people like yourself that are willing to go to distance and travel to California Strength, even if it mid-state.
This time it wasn't for work.
Yeah.
This time it wasn't for work. I just I'm gonna fly down. I'm gonna train, enjoy the atmosphere. We're leading up to nationals, so it's a good time to come in. You get to see Wes training hard, Nathan training hard, the girls training hard, you training hard.
Yeah.
And just be in the environment for the day, enjoy it, and hopefully contribute something. If I can come in there and help somebody else do well at their lifts just by bringing my energy that I can bring, that excites me. Yeah. And I get something out of that too. So
for sure,
it's good.
Yeah, sharing a bar with you definitely, for me, I mean, it added to the motivation. Like, I came in today and yes, I was motivated, but when I knew that I was going to share a bar with you, it added more intensity. It added more drive to the training session.
Yeah.
Like, I have a really strong dude that is pushing me, and I'm trying to keep as close as I can to him.
Yeah.
Being 2 weight classes above me. I'm an 89, you're 102, so being
almost 3, because you're 81. You're basically almost 81 right now.
Yeah.
85, 86.
Yeah, 85, 86 is my body weight some days. If I'm in a good spot, I'll be weighing 87.
Oh yeah.
But that's a good day. I rarely weigh 87, which is okay. It's whatever. I'm still growing into the weight class. I'm not trying to be fat. I take... No, you're not fat, bro.
Nah, I'm fat.
Nah, you're not. You're not fat, bro. You're 102.
If I was a 109 plus,
If you're 109 plus, you'd be fat.
Yeah.
Well, how tall are you?
6 foot.
6 foot.
Yeah.
How tall do you think I am?
5'9" and a half.
Damn, thank you.
How tall are you?
5'6".
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's close, kind of. Not really. It's hard, man. Like, when you look above people, you can't really get a good...
All I'm going to say is 3 inches is a lot. 3 inches. 3 inches can make a big difference.
3.5 inches.
3.5 inches can make a big difference.
Oh my goodness.
What would I do with 3.5 more inches?
You could probably be a 96.
Probably.
You probably could be a 96 because I mean, you just
Or
it's
change
like people
professions.
think okay, well you're 6 feet, so why don't you just be a 96 or an 89? Like the proportions of my arm, like the proportions of the arm, you get like that much more muscle mass or fat mass.
Dude,
Like you're just a bigger person.
Kate Omar from Venezuela is, I think, shorter than me. He's like, that guy's like 5'5". Like and
he's a 90.
he's a 96.
Yeah, he's a 96.
Guy's a beast.
He ate all the food. He ate all the meals, and he put it to good use.
Dude, that guy can squat a house. Guy can squat so much, and he's short. Strong dude.
His cleans are nuts too.
His cleans are nuts. He stays so connected with the bar.
Yeah.
All right, let's kind of get to some good questions here. Let's see what I got here so far. What we've talked about. We've talked a lot about some good stuff. I have some questions here. So you're going for nationals.
Yep.
Nationals next month. Are you doing the under 25 or like senior nationals?
Senior nationals.
Why don't you try the under 25?
It didn't seem like a motivation for me. I always thought senior nationals was like the most intense one. I don't know. And I mean that's kind of the path I feel like I need to be on too if I'm going to be qualifying for worlds. And I don't know. I just feel, I like having a lot on my shoulders, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Do the nationals. Do what you say. Do what you say you're gonna do. Do what you've been thinking about. You know what I mean? Like I like when people like go and do what they say they're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be training to hit this. Go do it. Go show me.
Yeah.
Like that's I like that. When people say they're gonna do it, just go work hard and do it. And that's I don't know. People don't like to see people that just don't do what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna be doing a 165 snatch, 166 snatch, and I'm gonna be clean jerking 195 for sure. I will do that at the minimum.
Second attempts?
We'll see how it is on game day, but I will for sure be doing those numbers, and that's how I'm gonna keep my mindset. And if I fall short, I'm gonna be working really, really hard to get to that point.
Yeah.
But that's the goal. I'm gonna believe it enough, and I'm gonna make it happen. So.
World teams, 102s.
102s.
Okay. Are you planning on going to college ever? I know that right now you haven't been doing college
so I'm
stuff.
like
we talk. So the reason I'm saying is because he's got a really good job right now.
Family business,
and he's
territory sales manager.
Yeah, he's like in a really good position right now. So there is really no need to go into
If
school?
I did, it would be for Spanish.
Okay.
I would take Spanish.
Yeah.
And it's an important language, and I want to learn it.
Yeah.
I took classes in high school, and I went to college for about a year or two before I got into my career now.
Yeah.
And I just love it so much. And the rest of my time is filled up with weightlifting and traveling and family and life. I just don't feel the need or the desire to go. Not necessarily the desire, but not the need. The time is, you just lose all your time,
Yeah.
It gets filled up.
I feel you. I when I was in college, I wanted to do an international program. I wanted to go travel somewhere and train somewhere.
Like intern in like
Interning in Europe, that would have been super sick. When I went to Poland, for University Worlds, the university that held the championship had a program that you can kind of like join as an international student, join that program and train in their Olympic training program, whatever. And I tried applying to it. I didn't get accepted, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna, because I was already done with college. I was trying to see if they could give me like a scholarship or something to do that. That would have been sick, but it didn't happen. So I just ended up joining Cal Strength. That's whatever. So 166, 195 for nationals, making world teams. Right now, who has been your favorite training partner and why? And why is it me? Just kidding.
You're up there, bro. Honestly, I've been training by myself a lot recently, and not by myself. That's not fair. My brother-in-law, my family, we have a nice garage set up back at the family house, and that's where my home gym's at right now. I'm gonna be moving into my new house in January of next year, so I'm gonna get that all set up and decked out. So that's exciting, but
You're gonna
my
build
family's
like
very motivating to me. They're very helpful. They're enthusiastic for what I'm doing, and they pump me up. But I'd have to say my daily closest training partner is Steve Belmore. He's in his 50s, and he's the one that got me into the big CrossFit gym, the competitive CrossFit gym, when I was just graduating high school. He's the one that kind of ignited that competitive spirit, and so training with him, he's always he can pick apart my lifts, and we push each other. He's an absolute tank. I'll have to show you a picture of him. He literally looks like a walking rhinoceros. But he's always working hard, and that's motivational to me. But we both get busy, so. But it's nice to lift at the gym in town. It's nice to lift at my home gym. It's nice to lift at all these other places, and so. But yeah, you're certainly on the top of the list there, bro. Yeah, come down. Just it's the energy, it's infectious. You come down, you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have great lifting. You have to bring it. Just because that's the minimum requirement. You just gotta bring it. Bring all you got. Show up. Make sure you're not eating trashy food. You just gotta get your sleep. Drink water. I don't know. But what time is it, bro?
It's about time we finish this podcast, bro. So let's close out with you kind of just like talking about your social media. Where can people find you? On
mainly Instagram,
YouTube, Facebook.
Like
you got any like blog that you do, training blogs, anything like that?
I don't have a training blog. Mainly my training blogs just do Instagram stories and posts and reels and all that stuff. Yeah. But R Sester on Instagram.
R Sester.
RSESTER.
Interesting.
The easiest way to spell it is like sister, but you change the I to an E.
Okay.
So
done.
But
that's where you can find my friend here, Ryan. Any motivational thing that you'd like to say, or any like advice, just one word of advice from a guy that's traveling the world, from a guy that's having to stay motivated, from a guy that's like just pursuing excellence in so many ways in life? How would you motivate someone that is like struggling to find motivation, to find that?
Try something new. Try something new if you're in a place where you don't feel like you enjoy something, because you're not going to find out if you like something if you don't do it. It takes an action in order to get, you got to go to college in order to, like you went to college, you found weightlifting, and you found a passion.
Yeah.
You got to do something in order to find if you like something. And the ultimate goal is to find things that you like doing or enjoy doing, and just letting it take over everything.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring everything else. Everything else falls into place when you find what you like and you go hard. Just it makes it so much easier. I mean, I understand sometimes a job is, if it's a temporary thing, just to get by in order to achieve something else. But the ultimate goal should be to fill your day with things that bring you joy and happiness and keep you motivated and on track. I mean, that's what I would say. Just find something that you enjoy. I really love my job. I really love weightlifting. Love meeting people. Love being around people. Didn't used to be that way, but I think stepping outside your comfort zone is going to bring so much more, just success in your life than you'll ever imagine. If you just step out, you go say hi to that person that maybe doesn't even need it. Just go interact with people that maybe makes you uncomfortable, and just I don't know. You don't have to be close with everybody, but you can get outside your comfort zone, maybe make somebody's day, and I think that happiness circles back.
Amen to that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Good vibes. I like that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being a part of the podcast. Thank you for coming out to train here with us.
Yes, sir.
Definitely added to the atmosphere tonight, and hope to see you again. Good luck at Nationals. Hope you make that world team. And if you don't make it because I had a higher total than you, then I'm sorry.
Sounds good, brother. Appreciate it.
See you.